outside them. So this is the chance that Saphir and Jakeyy have always wanted. They're guaranteed to get third place, but they don't want third place. They want to take it all the way to the top, and it is going to be up to Godly and Blaze to reclaim their rightful throne. Let's see what's going to happen, everybody. Elimination Finals, Game 1. Let's get it.
Now, Godly and Blaze are starting this one back off on the Teros and Bryn that they had earlier. We almost just saw a potential Gimp off the top with a GC instinct from Blaze, but it just barely missed after getting interrupted by, I can't remember which blue team member. That's an early stock, though, for the red team.
Yeah, not exactly the best opening that you would have liked if you're Saphir and Jakeyy, but you know what? You just need a game to get going. You remember what happened in the last set.
Yeah, they didn't have a good opening in that one either.
They did have a good opening, and they still were able to make it back that set. So anything is possible, even if they did get knocked down 3-0. At the moment, though, Blaze pressing that D-Sig. Jakeyy going all the way off the top, taking out Godly's first stock, and now Jakeyy is stock tanking for the blue team. You do have to pay attention to how much damage Saphir has, because if you're not careful, you can easily leave Jakeyy in a 2v1.
Yeah, you see it at the damage value as well. I was going to say that Saphir and Blaze were about equal, except Saphir was a full stock behind, but then he got taken out, and all of a sudden that was over. Stomping an in-light there from Godly, hoping he pick up the, I guess, the low damage combo there early on. I don't really know why he went for that, though. Could be a potential misinput. I'm not sure. Maybe just the way he picked up the stomp.
Gets that end light. Blaze and Godly going to be knocked off stage at the same time. Godly was looking for a crazy GC Ensig, and honestly, I can't blame him, although that was a little too hungry for it. Okay, side light neutral, good damage. Blaze, how do you make it back on here? Saphir able to get the D-light. D-light unfortunately doesn't KO, but Jakeyy Sword D-light does end up KOing after you combo it into the side, of course.
Finally, that was about a minute and a half into this game before they took away Blaze's first stock. Meanwhile, Saphir's on final. Jakey's very much in the red on his second. There's a side air, but it's from the wrong side of the stage. He will not have enough to get back, so you see him move into the blast zone as quickly as possible so he can respawn. Exactly, Dara. His teammate needs help. His
teammate needs help, but Jakeyy this time is there to help Saphir out. Saphir not going to be losing that last stock quite yet, right? That could have been a super dangerous 2v1 combo. That is the beauty of Lance, that you do get to stall up super, super high, and you do get to wait for your teammate to come back on. Unfortunately, though, that is just going to be the D-light side, and then on the left side, a similar thing will transpire. And so red team takes out game number 1.
They kind of spammed the GG button there. That felt a little bit toxic. It was like bang, 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 bang.
No, I get it. I do that too. No feeling better than beating somebody and then just mashing it with every single, you know, force in your body.
I don't even know which button the GG button is. I have to think about it like every time because I don't press GG in ranked.
I just let go of my keyboard.
Even if I
just scroll up with my mouse and just mash left click. That's all I do. That's my tech, at least. So, at the moment, Blaze and Godly, they took out that first game. Jakeyy and Saphir, it didn't feel like they were able to really play at the same time a couple times. Jakeyy and Saphir, one of them was knocked off stage. The other one was kind of left to fend for themselves a little bit. And so I just want to see what they're able to do with the rest of the set. They've established last time around, well, you know, you can't really count them out after game 1 or game 2.
I just noticed that Jakeyy is from Great Britain as well. Normally Godly was like one of the only ones that I ever like would put in predictions, and because I would always put like the flags of the country that they're from because I think it's interesting. And we have another GBR player in Jakeyy, and then of course we have Saphir over in France, and then Blaze from the Netherlands.
Great. I'm glad that we got all this British representation today.
Yeah.
So going into game number 2, we're now going to be seeing Jakeyy switch back on off to the Tesca. How did you feel about that initial switch in the beginning, though? Because that's not what we've seen Jakeyy do all day.
I am fine with it, only because it's game 1, and I think you can get a little kooky in game 1. I think that's okay.
You can be a little silly.
Yeah.
Right? You have time. You could. It's like, you know, the 20s are the best years of your life. Go be stupid, and then you'll fix all of your problems when you're 40 and 50 and have chronic health issues. So right now, Jakeyy able to get the side light, doesn't get the recovery as Godly just dodges down and away successfully. The damage is just about even at the moment, and yeah, we're just seeing who's able to pick up this lead first.
So one thing, okay, recovery off the top. One thing I was about to say was that last game was from Jakeyy almost completely dominated by the sword. 363 damage compared to the 14 as Godly and Blaze end up losing their stocks there. This could be a little bit rough for the red team as we have a great blue team opening, but it was dominated by the sword, and now all of a sudden from Jakeyy we saw the early KO, neutral signature, hitting your teammate, not a problem there.
That is amazing. That was such good damage dealt to red team, but now Jakeyy all the way in the bottom right, and now guess what? They both got KO'd at the same time. That was a good choice.
That's
just to say. Great.
We like that.
Nice, fresh, clean stock. Let's get it. Let's see what we got this time around. Stock count is even. The damage is definitely in blue team's favor at the moment.
Oh, Blaze with the immediate turnaround and target swap. Going back and forth. One on Saphir, one on Jakeyy, one on Saphir. Now he's focused on Jakeyy for a second. Godly taken out. Let's see what Blaze goes for here. Is he just going to camp the wall while Godly spawns back in? He's potentially going to get edge guarded here. Godly's there. Okay, he's not going to attempt the save. Probably so his teammate can respawn back in and they can be closer to equal health between the two.
Closer to equal health is not going to help you when you got to make it back on against Tesca, and everything that he does just pulls you in with it. That just says, hey, if I'm going to go, you're going to go too. Wait a second, I don't even have to go to begin with because I'm just going to chase dodge back up to safety. Jakeyy off stage, that is what Tesca does to people. Tesca steals your stocks.
That was a quick L. We got to see, hopefully we get the replay of the final stock to see exactly how long this game was, because it was not
beautiful.
Long. A minute and a half at this point. There's the down air. There's a second down air. There's the neutral air.
And
there's the side air. When does he lose it? 6:26, Dara. A minute and 34 seconds was all it took for Saphir and Jakeyy to rally and take that game. There's the Shang.
There it is. We're seeing the switch off now. So how are we feeling about that switch?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about the guy Lee Shang. I think Wu Shang is an amazing legend, as we've already established, as many other teams have also already established, just this weekend alone, even if we ignore all the other weekends. But I like Godly's Wu Shang as well, as he's kind of getting cooked here. He's just getting juggled, and like he's throwing out a gauntlet in air, but I feel like Blaze has been
He's
doing
finally
most
able
of the
to get a
damage.
bit of space, but then still landing and then eating the recovery from boots as well. Godly has just not been able to reset neutral in what feels like a decade at this point. Okay, Jakeyy getting so scary off stage. Blaze coming back on, able to get the end sig, and then Saphir still with a quick little whiff punish. The stock count between the two teams is even. The position is effectively even. You get the side light into the D light against Godly. Wow.
Oh,
Saphir.
another dare. Goes for the ground pound this time.
You touched? How? I thought you were at the corner of the stage. How are you still hanging onto the stock? I don't know how Ulgrim does it.
I don't know either. That is one of the many good things about Ulgrim, is it seems like, I don't know if it's Ulgrim or Ulgrim players, but they seem to just like have a hidden extra several blocks of defense.
It's built into the game. It's a little hidden stat. At the moment, though, Jakeyy just going to be setting Godly super deep off stage. Godly able to just quickly find classic D-Light sider.
Nice.
Jakeyy with the pickup using his own teammate's neutral light, able to get a gauntlet sider. Jakey's lethality this game, Jakey's lethality last game. Who is this?
He's a very good player. You can't say anything other than he's a very, very, very good player.
And we're seeing that come into play now because he is somebody that is enough to make Godly and Blaze afraid off stage.
There's the down air. Jakeyy over on the edge. Blaze tried to ride the wall down with the ground pound, but Jakeyy stayed too deep in the push-off column.
Okay, really nice sider. Godly just goes out there, tries to go for a neutral out through the side light, not able to find it. Blaze, really good edge guard, gets the baseball bat swing, and now huge end light. Gonna be putting Saphir off stage. Godly doesn't find the ground pound that time around, and Saphir does make it back on relatively safely.
I feel like I haven't seen Godly throw out too many signatures this game, which like you're playing the Shang.
You're playing Wu Shang. You have to. I love the fact that Godly just backed off for a second and decided just to focus on the teammate that was still on the stage, because he knew the consequences of committing too deep.
Okay, let's see if they can make anything special happen right here. If they can at least get the stock, and no, they can't even secure Jakey's stock before Blaze is taken out. Dara, what is happening in this bracket? I thought that this was the one constant that we could count on, the rock of Godly and Blaze.
This should have been the immutable variable. This should have been the concept that was defined at the beginning, and yet things are being changed actively and everything is falling apart as a result. So, you know, don't mess with your constants, first of all. Second of all, going into this, Saphir and Jakeyy, they play so well off of each other. Jakey's edge guarding is absolutely ridiculous. I want to look at perhaps some of, dare I say, the numbers of the amount of stocks that Jakeyy has just gotten off stage, because it has been several, numerous.
And looking at some more numbers, Godly threw out 3 signatures, hit 33% of them. So he hit 1 signature the entire game, which if any other Wu Shang that we've seen today is throwing those out like candy. And yes, they didn't make it this far, but I think if Godly felt more comfortable throwing those out, but he doesn't. So he didn't throw them out last game, and he's now swapped onto the Rayman, which I think is going to be a good pick for him.
Yep, so let's get serious for a second.
Too.
Let's get serious.
Let's get serious.
Godly on the Rayman. He's able to get the neutral light. He's able to get the side light. That's a side light recovery. Saphir, you know, Ulgrim, he's not going anywhere anytime soon.
maybe he let that rip a little bit too early because he knew blue team member was behind him and was going to hit him. That's the only thing I can think of. Ooh. Nice side air follow, because look at the timing right there. I don't think he totally biffed the side sig timing.
No, not at all. So, you know what? This is the kind of a switch. This is the kind of a lead that you want. This is what I wanted to see out of Blaze and Godly. Jakeyy going to be going off stage against Godly. Gets that ground pound. Is he going to get the weapon toss? Not quite. But the GC D-Light into the ground pound. Of course, Rayman, they love coming back onto stage with the GC N-Sig, but it is so reactable. You know where he's going to go. You know how to punish it.
You don't even have to know where he's going to go, like your brain, because like the wisps or whatever those little fellas are called.
He just stops at the wall.
They literally tell you where he's going, the route he's going to take. You know the timing, and the best way to punish that is from behind with that D-Light ground pound. You don't have to worry about anything else. Just wait for it.
Okay, Saphir coming back onto the stage with the recovery, able to get the D-Light.
God, okay, all right. Oh, darn. Okay, everything's fine. It's okay.
We are so back. That is if we are Godly and Blaze, that is, because Godly comes back on with the recovery, eats a downer from Saphir, though. Jakeyy with the ground pound doesn't find the downer finisher, and now he will pay the price for it dearly. He can't make it back on Sparky. He committed off stage. He ended up whiffing the one option that he needed to connect and ended up getting KO'd. Saphir going to be soon to follow his teammate. They are now on game 5.
And that is a beautifully split game for Godly and Blaze. The damage between the two of them, 445 and 454. They split the KOs right down the middle, 3 and 3. Perfect like synergy between the two teammates. We saw some great follow-ups there, some great K secures, some knockout secures there. Here's the end with the GC down heavy to use all of the active frames on that. You don't have to worry about the D-Light ground pound for the finisher. You can just kind of sit there and wiggle your legs around, do your little break dance, and that's all he needed. It's a safe option. It's a smart option there, and that's why he chose it.
So, once again, we have a game 5. This is 3 consecutive game 5s that we are having here on the mainstream into this top 4. And we are in Miami Dome, my friends. What a lovely stage. So let's go ahead and begin. Saphir able to get that downer into the D-Light. Godly looking to get something similar onto Jakeyy. Just both of them splitting up into individual 1v1s until Jakeyy decides to get in there and give Blazy some of the boots.
Blaze and Godly, of course, sticking with the same legends they did last game. Ooh, he was looking for the KO with that neutral signature. Didn't find quite the connection that he wanted. There's the recovery. Jakeyy living just barely. All of that Tesca defense coming in handy for him there.
It's coming in handy. It's coming in clutch. And that axe recovery does not matter whether he get hit by it because he was still getting KO'd by it at some point or another. Godly looking for any way to desperately land. And you see Jakeyy hunting. Jakeyy is hunting, ends up falling into Godly's Enlight, switching off with Blaze there for a second. Okay, that's one huge Enlight. You do end up taking out Godly with that and not your teammate. Wow.
Blaze is being careful after that, though. Like, he was there to put in a presence if the opportunity presented itself. Nice. But after his teammate got KO'd, he backed up so he could wait for Godly to come back in so he could find the follow-up. Just like that. Incredible team play. Okay,
Jakeyy, you get that neutral. You don't really get that much off of Boots neutral, right? So just looking for any way to land here with a sider. That's what Boots wants. He wants to be floating up above you, wait for you to press a bad button. You land with a sider, you land, maybe you hit him with a sidelight or something. But Jakeyy just not able to get anything too big quite yet. Blaze gets in the D-Light. Oh my gosh.
Jakeyy is really struggling here. Can't find any opening. Now he's at a weapon disadvantage. Gets the gauntlets. See if he can make the gauntlets happen where the boots weren't.
Okay, that weapon toss, it was intended to be from Jakeyy, but then somebody else ended up tanking it. Jakeyy, can you make it back onto the stage? Yes, you can. You throw Blaze off stage. You give Saphir a second of breathing room just so that he could pick up the lance. You connect the sider. You force out the dodge from Blaze, but then you're a little bit too close, and you eat the recovery nonetheless. Jakeyy knocked down to his last stock. Saphir off stage on the right side. Godly's just patrolling it because he is looking for that opportunity.
I don't know if Saphir wanted the offstage engagement or if he was just trying to play really defensively because he was playing incredibly low on the wall and he was at weapon disadvantage compared to Godly. Oh, Blaze, did you just make a mistake? Godly, did you just make a mistake? The Enlight from Saphir after Godly down airs Blaze.
Whoops. That's all I can say to that, really. But Blaze gets in there and does end up hitting Saphir, and Jakeyy stacked with the save D-Light. Okay, last stock apiece. Game 5, Elimination Finals. Blue team, slight damage disadvantage at the moment, but now everybody is about to have a weapon on hand. What's going to happen?
I truly don't know. Surely we don't have Blaze and Godly with a bronze medal around their neck. There's no way Jakeyy and Saphir can win over Godly and Blaze. They're at the damage deficit here. That doesn't help, but the whipped Insig still gives signs of life for Jakeyy. He's not done just yet. He's going to attempt to juggle Godly, gets hit with the neutral light on that left soft platform.
Blue team is eating so much damage too. That's going to be the side light recovery, and Saphir is gone off the top, down into the side. Godly popping out that D-Sig, nice and non-committal. Jakeyy makes it back on, slips into, gets the side and just eats that neutral and now has to deal with being juggled. It is not impossible. Bryn somehow still hanging onto that stock despite that side light recovery. That's the
Blaze,
no!
dude, come on. He's missing some seriously critical punishes that he could grab earlier when Jakeyy got back onto the stage. Godly covered high, but Blaze did a bad job of covering low. There's the side air to confirm the KO in Game 5. And Blaze and Godly will be moving on, but Jakeyy and Saphir with one absolute barn burner of a run today, getting the 3rd place finish and a bronze medal around their neck here at the Spring Doubles Championship. By far their best placement.
And they did amazing. They took Godly and Blaze.